reporters are on the ground, Ziniko Mhlaba and Zola Sholwana. You are both in different locations. I'm going to start with you, Ziniko Mhlaba, because next to you is the police commissioner in Gauteng, Elias Mawela. And the reason I'm doing this, Ziniko, is that there seems to be confusion about what exactly should the residents, particularly those that live in those buildings that surround the epicenter of this, what should they do? Should they be evacuating or should they remain inside the buildings?
Well, Xoli, that's a question that still needs to be answered. As you said, that the police commissioner here in Gauteng, General Mawela, is here with us just to give us the latest information as far as what he knows. He's from the scene, so he's coming this side to give us an update of what he knows so far. There's also possible reports of another fatality, so he'll be clarifying all those things. So in a moment or so, he will start updating us, and we'll try to get his bite and also get some information as far as what he knows. So yeah, that's what's happening here. But also later on in the day, we'll be probing the aftermath of this particular explosion. So that's the latest here.
To pause with you there for the moment, but as soon as we see that picture of Elias Mawela talking, we'll take you back to Ziniko. All right, let's also catch up with Zola Sholwana, who is in downtown Johannesburg, a different location perhaps I should say. Zola, good morning to you. The people in the area that has been affected, again, similar question to you, what are they doing at this time? Because there doesn't seem to be a clear-cut message as to what people should be doing in and around these areas.
Well, Xoli, we are actually not far from the scene in the Joburg CBD. We are speaking to people that were meant to report for work rather in the morning because they were told to do so by their employers yesterday. But now what happens when your doors are open as a business but people aren't able to come in because obviously police are restricting movement closer to the incident? And I'm joined by a lady who literally just came in. She was making her way to work and now she sees some of her colleagues sitting and doing nothing because business cannot operate as usual. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time. And obviously this is the time where you're supposed to start working. Some of your colleagues because no one is coming in. How has this affected you guys?
Leswi nga endleka tolo swi affecte swinene because hi pfarile business a ri le ku tirheni sa hi twisisi ku ku endlekala yini Bree hinkwayo yi pfarile a hi le ku tirheni.
So now that you can't work, what does this mean for you? Are you going to continue sitting there and just waiting and hoping that Bazoti, you guys must go back to operation as usual, or you're going to go back home?
Hi yimele vona va hi byela ku hi fane hi ya kaya or hi fane hi tirha mara hambi ho pfula xopo a ni voni ku ta va na vanhu va nga ta nghena because vanhu va le ku chaveni ka leswi nga endleka tolo.
So now that obviously you haven't received communication from your employers in terms of if you guys should continue coming to work, what happens tomorrow? Do you still continue coming to work hoping that things will go back to normal?
Hi ta twa hi vona ku swilo swi vuyela ka normal or njhani, but a ni voni ku this week ku ta tirhiwa because vanhu va chava ku ta dorobeni. Se hi ta yimela ku twa vona na valungu va hina ku ku endlekala yini.
As someone that takes taxis, I'm sure this has also inconvenienced you in a way because some people had to get off far from their workplaces. What challenges did you face which is something that's different from how things were when things were normal?
Kuna challenge because loko hi ta entirhweni hi ta hi timali ta hina. Se na challenge ya ku loko hi kha hi ta tirhweni hi jika a hi swi tivi ku hi ta va no work no pay or ku ta endlekala yini. So swina challenge ka hina tani hi vatirhi.
Thank you very much, Ma. Now, she stretched out something that is quite important, and this is something that we got to most people that have reported to work rather. They don't know what will happen because no one is telling them anything, and they're just seated and just hoping that someone will come and say, business will operate as usual. And now having to take a taxi coming to work every day, only to find out that you only sit because doors are open but people cannot come in because police are restricting movement, as you can see right behind me. Now these people take taxis every morning to report to work, and they'll end up not working because at this point no one is allowed to operate. And we were also told that there's no electricity, so electricity has been cut off in this area, so which means those who don't have backup power cannot continue operating. And I'm joined by a lady who says, I think she'll actually be touching on what you mentioned earlier, which is what should happen to those people that are in these buildings. And at this point, no one knows what's going to happen. So are they at risk? What are the law enforcement agencies saying or doing to make sure that these people are safe? Ma'am, thank you very much for your time. Your colleague spoke last night,
yes,
touching on the issue, saying that what should happen to the people, those that were not evacuated, that live in the buildings that are closer to the incident?
What should happen to the people that live in these buildings? First things first, I really believe that they should be evacuated because they are currently in their buildings and they currently do not know what's happening right now. So just to be on the safe side, it's better to just remove them from the buildings and take them to a safe space, because as you're currently saying, the road has been restricted, there's no movement that's currently happening. So which means there could be possible danger that can still be happening. So why not have the residents safe than have damage happening whilst they are still in their buildings?
All right, thank you very much, ma'am, for your time. Now, Koli, unfortunately, because we're running out of time, I'll have to hand back to you. But of course, we'll keep you updated on the developments of the story.
Zola, Sholwana, thank you very much in downtown Johannesburg there.